My name is Jean. I'm sitting in my beach house, looking out at the dark water, and I can't help but think about that fateful night when my life took a drastic turn. It was a night that shattered my illusions about family and loyalty, but it also led me to a new beginning. It all started when I lost my job at Crest Financial Services. I had been working there for 12 years, putting in long hours and sacrificing my personal life for the company. I was a senior financial analyst, and I had earned the respect of my colleagues and the admiration of my superiors. But one day, out of the blue, my manager called me into his office and told me that the company was downsizing. My position was being eliminated, and I was being let go. I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I had given my all to that company, and this was how they repaid me? I felt like my world was collapsing around me. I drove home in a daze, my mind racing with thoughts of uncertainty and fear. I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills or what I was going to do with my life. When I got home, I told my parents what had happened. I was hoping for some support and understanding, but instead, I got the exact opposite. My father, a strict and unforgiving man, looked at me with cold eyes and said, "Your sister needs this house more than you do." I was stunned. I couldn't believe what he was saying. My sister, Lily, was 28 years old and had never held a job for more than a few months. She was living with her boyfriend in an apartment that my parents had been paying for. And now, they were going to kick me out of my own home to make room for her? My mother, a weak and spineless woman, just stood there and nodded in agreement. She didn't say a word to defend me or to try to reason with my father. She just let him do what he wanted. I felt like I was being betrayed by the people who were supposed to love me the most. Lily showed up a few minutes later, and the first thing she said was, "Who's going to pay my credit card bill now?" I couldn't believe my ears. She didn't even ask me how I was feeling or if I needed any help. She was only concerned about herself and her own financial problems. I felt like I was living in a nightmare. I didn't say a word. I just stood there and watched as my father packed my clothes into a suitcase and my mother handed me my car keys. I picked up the suitcase and walked out of the house, feeling like a stranger in my own home. I got in my car and drove away, not knowing where I was going or what I was going to do. As I drove, I thought about all the sacrifices I had made for my family. I had given up my own dreams and aspirations to take care of them. I had paid the bills, done the housework, and taken care of my father when he was sick. And this was how they repaid me? I felt like a fool. But then, I remembered something. 3 years ago, I had quietly registered a small property holding company and purchased a beach house 45 minutes outside the city. It had been my secret escape, a place where I could go to get away from it all. I had never told anyone about it, not even my parents or my sister. It was my little piece of paradise, and it was all mine. I drove to the beach house that night, feeling a sense of relief and hope. When I got there, I carried my suitcase inside and turned on the lights. The house was exactly as I had left it, clean and comfortable. I sat down at the kitchen table and looked out at the ocean. I felt like I was finally free. I spent the next few days at the beach house, thinking about my future. I realized that I didn't need my family or my old job. I had the skills and the knowledge to start my own business, and I was determined to do it. I called my former colleague Ava, who had left Crest Financial Services a year earlier to start her own financial consulting firm. We had stayed in touch over the years, and I knew that she was a smart and talented businesswoman. I told her what had happened, and she was very supportive. She offered me a partnership in her firm, and I accepted. Over the next few months, Ava and I worked hard to build our business. We took on clients, developed new strategies, and expanded our services. It was a lot of work, but it was also very rewarding. We were able to help our clients achieve their financial goals, and we were making a difference in their lives. 3 weeks after I left my parents' house, my mother called me. She didn't apologize for what had happened. She just asked me if I could help Lily set up a baby registry account because she was having trouble with the website. I told her calmly that I wasn't available and that I hoped Lily would figure it out on her own. Then I hung up the phone. My father never called me. Lily sent me a text message asking if I was still paying for her gym membership. I canceled it that same day. I didn't feel any guilt or regret. I knew that I had made the right decision. As the months passed, our business continued to grow. We signed more clients, hired more employees, and expanded our office space. By the 5th month, I was earning more than I had at my previous job. And by the 8th month, I was already thinking about the next property. It was around that time that my aunt, Rose, my father's younger sister, came to visit me at the beach house. She was the only person in the family who had ever shown me any kindness or support. She sat down at the kitchen table and looked at me with a sad expression on her face. "Jean," she said, "I'm sorry about what happened with your parents. They made a big mistake." I nodded. "It's okay, Aunt Rose. I've moved on." She sighed. "I know. But I wanted to tell you that Lily has moved into your old bedroom at your parents' house, and things aren't going well. Her boyfriend left her, and she's due to have the baby in a few weeks. Your parents are paying for everything, and they're starting to realize that they made a big mistake by kicking you out." I listened to her, but I didn't feel any sympathy for them. I had been through too much to care about their problems. "Aunt Rose," I said, "I appreciate you coming to see me, but I don't want to get involved. I've built a new life for myself, and I'm happy here." She nodded. "I understand, Jean. I just wanted to let you know what was going on." I thanked her for coming, and then she left. I sat there for a long time, thinking about what she had said. I realized that some things are better left in the past. I didn't need my family to be happy. I had my own business, my own friends, and my own beach house. And that was enough. Looking back on that night, I realized that it was the best thing that ever happened to me. It taught me the importance of self-reliance and the power of resilience. It also taught me that sometimes, you have to let go of the people who are holding you back and move on with your life. So, if you're going through a difficult time right now, don't give up. Keep fighting for what you believe in, and never let anyone tell you that you can't achieve your dreams. Because sometimes, the worst thing that can happen to you can also be the best thing that ever happens to you.